Hello. In this video, we're going to show how to put trusses on a building. So here's a elongated building. It's a 4x3 pattern, and the east-west dimension is definitely longer than the north-south dimension. It is more typical to place trusses, particularly slanted trusses or scissor trusses, in the shorter direction. So we can do this in a number of ways. First off, we can let's go to the east plan, so we're looking at this from the east side. And we go to the truss command by going to structure, the structure section, and trusses. And if we're doing this in elevation view, it is asking us to define the plane that we are working on and that we want this truss to go on. So we have to have knowledge of our building. We're looking at it from the east side. I see grids A, B, C, D. I do not see grids 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 because they are going into the page. So I can specify by name, and I can grab these various grids 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 and place a truss at each one of those grids. That is not the method I'm going to use here. I find it easier to place trusses when we are in 3D mode. So let's go back to the structure, truss command. And we can see that the only option we have is a flat truss. And so we'll select that. And we can use snapping points while in 3D mode. So I can put a how truss from that endpoint right there to that endpoint right there. And we've placed a truss. And then I would go through and place 4 more trusses to completely truss this roof. The truss itself can be modified. The default height was set to 10 feet, but if I wanted that to be 2 foot, 4 foot, whatever, I can change that size right there. I'm going to hit undo here. And instead of using the how flat truss, I want to go into load families and find other trusses that we can use. And so I'm going to scroll down, go to structural trusses, and we can see that we have a slew of trusses to choose. We have a preview window over here on the right, so as we're going through we can see the general design of these various trusses. How gabled are very common in housing. Pratt flat trusses, Pratt gabled, and we have scissor trusses. And then lastly, our Warren trusses. So I'm going to load, let's say, a how gabled truss 6 panel. Hit open. We give it a moment to load, and we now see that we have 2 trusses to choose from, a flat truss or a gable truss. So I'm going to go with the gable truss here. And we're in draw command, so I can place my first truss like that. The truss has a certain height to it, which can all be controlled again in our settings here. So I'm just going to stick with the standard 10-foot height, but if I knew my total length of this truss, I can calculate what height I would need in order to get a minimum or a specific pitch to this roof. Let's go through and draw some more. Place a second truss right there. Place a third truss. Put the 4th truss on. And lastly, place the 5th truss. So we've completed trussing